Welcome back to Living with a Classic. And for those of you who are familiar with my channel, you might see something a little different behind me right there. There's no white XJ12 that's usually there. It's not even a red XJS. That's a British Racing Green 1975 XJ6. And let's just say, Santa was pretty good to me this year and brought me another Jag for the channel. You might recognize this car actually from a few videos ago where we diagnosed a head gasket failure on this very car. So this is the XJ6 that has a blown head gasket. It's pushing exhaust fumes out into the coolant passages. So on the way to my house, my friend who drove it here to my house, it was running perfectly, he said. However, when he just got up to my house, and just to clarify, my house is up on a rather big hill or small mountain, so the last mile or so is just all uphill. So when he got up here, a coolant hose blew off and the engine just lost basically all of the coolant instantly. And we're not really sure if that's when the head gasket went, or if it went to pressurize the cooling system slowly and then that burst the hose and then just everything basically tumbled from there. So what's happened since that video? Well, not really that much. My friend and I, we went back and forth and talked to him about what we're going to do with the car, if he wants me to fix it up for him or what's going to happen. And basically what we ended up doing is he made me an offer and I ended up buying the car as a project for this channel. I've had a lot of questions about things on the XJ6, on the XK engine, on SU carbs. I didn't really have a car to show things on. I was planning on showing things on this car anyway with his car, but whatever happened, now it's my car instead. And it's a really nice car. It's a beautiful British Racing Green. Paint's really nice. There's not really any rust on the car at all. Okay, it has a blown head gasket. The engine basically leaks oil everywhere. And a few other things. The interior is a little worn. But there are a lot of really nice things on this car. So in a few minutes, we'll just have a look around it. I'll show you everything around the car, the good things and the bad things. And I'll go through some of the things that I'm going to do to the car on this channel. Because that's the whole idea with this car, a real project car for this channel. The first project car of 2020. So the things I plan on showing is, of course, replacing the head gasket, detailing up the engine bay, going through the brakes, going through lights and everything else, basically to get this car back on the road. My idea is to do I don't really like the word budget, but quote unquote budget home rebuild. I want to perform a rebuild that anyone else could do at home. I'm not going to have any special tools. I'm not going to have a special shop. I'll just be in my normal workshop behind me here with normal tools. And I just want to show how almost anyone with access to some type of workshop or garage can buy a car like this as a project for not very much money at all, not spend very much money on parts really, just a lot of hours out in the workshop and get one of these back on the road in not that long time and for not that much money at all. So my idea is basically be open with all the costs, show you guys with all the parts I put into the car, what they cost, and how many hours I put into it. So please let me know in the comments down below if that would be a fun thing, if you want to see everything documented on getting this car back on the road before the summer. Now, let's head over there and have a look at it. Let's start by having a look at the exterior of the car, which is definitely the best part of the car. There's really no rust on this car at all. The chrome is in really good shape. There's some pieces I might want to replace, but overall it's a really nice driver quality chrome. The paint job was redone a few years ago. I'm not exactly sure how long ago it was. I'm going to check with the previous owners, see if he knows. But you can see that it was a respray because there's some overspray in a place or two on a sticker. I think inside this door. Yes, here you can see some overspray on that sticker. But overall, really nice paint for a driver. The wheels and tires are really nice. Tires are almost brand new white walls. The wheels have been restored and powder coated, and all the chrome is in pretty good shape on the original wheels. All the badges are in place. As you can see, the sills and everything looks really nice. The only sort of paint defect I kind of found on it is there are some dimples somewhere on top of the roof, but I think that can be polished away. And there's some little nicks in the chrome here and there. But overall, it's a very, very nice, very presentable car. So now let's have a look at the interior. We'll start here with the rear. Door cards feel a little worn, but they can mostly be cleaned up. There's something there, a little bit of a nick. So maybe the vinyl should be replaced there, but overall really nice. Electric windows all throughout the car and they all work. Back seat is in pretty good shape. There is a little bit of a tear over here, so that might be something that I fix. I'm not really sure what I'm going to do about it. Maybe there'll be a project series on fixing up leather interiors and dyeing this interior. Not quite sure about that, but let me know in the comments down below if that would be something you want to see. Headlining has been replaced in the car. It's in very nice shape. However, the fur flex here around the sides is it's not the nicest. So that's something I definitely plan on replacing, along with some of the rubbers around the doors. And the one thing that lets this car down, the carpets, they're a little torn, they're a little worn. So that will just brighten up the interior a lot with some new carpets. Let's have a look at the front. Seats in the front are a little bit more worn, like over there in the corner and over here, but it's actually not worn through all the way there. So either maybe that piece can be replaced there, just the side bolster over there, maybe we can replace that leather. So I'm not really sure what I'm going to do with the interior so far, but first of all, just get this car back on the road. That will be priority number one. It has one of these modern sort of retro sound stereos. It's a really nice unit. Everything works. So it has Bluetooth and phone hands-free and aux and everything. So that's kind of cool. It's a no AC car. Just manual climate control over there. And here is one thing. The car's had a little bit of an electrical fire back here with the switchover for the fuel tanks. However, I do have a brand new wiring loom that goes all the way over here. So that will be replaced as well in the future video. The driver's seat has a bit of a rip in it over here in the stitches. It's also collapsed a bit. Otherwise, it's not too bad. Headrests are kind of sunken in, so they need new foams inside. Pretty much a standard issue. But otherwise, the car is really nice inside. The interior is, pretty worn, but it is an original interior from 1975. So to be honest, it's not that bad at all. So we'll see how much of it I will replace and how much of it I will restore on the channel. Let me know in the comments down below if you would like to see a full leather restoration on the channel. If so, maybe I'll try and tackle it for this car. Last but not least, let's have a look under the hood. So this is where most of the work will be done because it has a blown head gasket, and like I said, it leaks oil pretty much everywhere. The car is a Series 2, but for those of you who know these cars, might have seen this. This is a dipstick for a Jaguar 66, which is a Series 3 gearbox. And yes, this is a Series 3, a pretty late Series 3 XK engine without the fuel injection. They just put it on carbs instead. But it does have the Series 3 oil cooler up front and the ignition system from the Series 3 and all of that. Other than the blown head gasket, this engine has been running really well. Has good oil pressure, no rattles, no nothing. So initially I think I'll just take the head off. Of course I'll inspect everything, but if everything looks good and the head is good, we'll put it all back together and it should run just fine. And that's it for the introduction of the new XJ6. Let me know what you think of the car in the comments down below. Do you think it'll be a good project for the channel? If you haven't subscribed yet, I highly recommend that you do. Just hit the subscribe button down below and the bell notification so you don't miss any updates, especially on this new XJ6. The next thing you'll see on this car, we'll start to dismantle the top of the engine, get the carbs off, the hood off, the radiator, just make everything ready to get that head off. And let's really hope we can get that head off pretty easily. But until next time, I'm Adam, and this was Living with a Classic. I'll see you soon.